Today what I want to show you guys is all about how to find your foundation shade when you're in the drugstore, when you are in the department store, in general, how to match your foundation, and also what foundations are really good, what are my foundation favorites, and what are my shades. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, like, what are your shades? What shade are you in MAC? What is this? What is that? What is that? So this is just a gigantic foundation, like, everything. So hopefully it'll help you brown girls out there feel a little bit better and a little bit more confident in your foundation choices. For me, I also struggle with this. I'm always looking for somebody, like when a new foundation comes out, I'm like, all right, what foundation are you and what are you gonna use, and should I get that one or no? All right, you guys, so let's get started. I have 4 drugstore foundations and then 4 higher end foundations. I've also broken them down even further into my summer foundation and then my winter foundation. Now for me, let's just start out with my skin type. I am dry combination. So in the winter time, I get more dry on my cheeks and oily in my T-zone. And then in the summertime, I get like really oily in my T-zone and dry on my cheeks. So if you can relate, this video would be good for you. All of these products are all full coverage. Some of them are a little bit thicker than some of them are a little bit thinner. And in general, I really like these foundations. With the exception of one, I feel like if I get a really good color in it, I might like it a little bit more. But overall, I feel like these are great foundations. They're affordable foundations. They're nothing too crazy, nothing too extravagant, nothing too like extremely expensive. Let's get right into it. So I'm gonna start out with my drugstore foundations first, and these are the ones that I love for the summertime. This is the L'Oreal Pro Glow Infallible Foundation. I am in the shade 210 Classic Tan. I just want to point out that in the description box below, I will list all of my shades, all of the colors, and everything. This is actually the one that I have on right now. I love it. I don't feel like it's too glowy or too dewy or whatever the case is. I feel like it has really great coverage and it's very lightweight. So it'll give you that perfect coverage, but it's not gonna feel heavy on the skin, which is amazing. So I really love this one, especially for summertime, because in the summertime, for me personally, I like really nice, glowy, natural looking skin, but because I do have dark spots, I want it to still cover. So this one I find does that, like, no joke. This is a great one. And this is probably like $12 or $13. I'm sure you can find it cheaper too if you have coupons and stuff. The L'Oreal Pro Glow, it's just like a little tube that has it like that. The next one that I love for the summertime is this MILANI Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, and this is 09 Tan. That's the color that I am. I'm usually in like the tan kind of range. Now I love this one. I feel like it gives you a really nice full coverage. I love that this one is a little bit more rich, so it will work as a concealer and a foundation in one if you just want to use one product. For me, I always use a concealer separately because I like a lighter under eye area. But if you're not very high maintenance like that and you just want something very simple, this one is great. This is also similar to the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation. This one is more of a pump. The Clinique one is like a wand that you can take out and apply it. I love using this one with my beauty blender because I feel like it just kind of shears it out a little bit. So these are the 2 that I love for the summertime because they give you really great coverage, but they're very lightweight depending on how you apply it. Now, how you apply it is also something that I want to mention. You can apply it with a beauty blender. This is dirty. Or you can use like a flat top brush like this to apply it. For heavier, thicker foundations like the MILANI one, I like using the beauty blender just because it does shear it out a little bit more. You also can use this really nicely with concealer or, powdering stuff. There's tons of different other sponges. This is a Real Techniques sponge. This one I love because it's Real Techniques. It's like $7 and you don't have to use like $20 sponge. Like, this one is great. And you can of course reuse this. These are 2 that I was actually sent from Eco Tools. This one's also dirty too, but this is really nice because they have like the little sharp edges on them. So this is really nice for baking or like, highlighting. I don't want to get sidetracked too much, so let's go back into the foundations. So now for the winter foundations, these ones I find you can use in the winter time or, summer, depending on your skin, of course. but I really like the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. What a mouthful. But this one is great. And then in this foundation, I am the shade Tan as well. So this one also comes with a really nice pump that you can use to pump out. This one I find has really nice medium to full coverage. You can absolutely build it up. It's really nice and smooth. It leaves a nice soft finish. I do think that in the wintertime you should use more of a matte or a satin finish rather than something more dewy, just because if you're using something dewy in the wintertime, especially New York winters that are really brutal because of the wind and all the different things, especially if you are in the city as well, it's gonna break apart on you. So that's why I would recommend using a full coverage matte foundation in the wintertime rather than like more of a dewy lightweight, because in the wintertime your skin is, with the weather and everything, it's gonna start cracking and you know your dry patches are gonna show. All of this is gonna happen and then you're gonna think you have dry skin and then you're gonna go buy like an extremely hydrating moisturizer when you might not need to. And then if you're doing something really heavy and thick in the summertime, because your skin is like sweating and there's so much heat going on, you might end up looking cakey or it might just kind of melt off. So you don't want that. And that's not a really nice feeling either. The next one that I'm like low-key really liking but kind of not is the Wet n Wild foundation, and I'm in the shade Toffee. Now I feel like I don't really care too much for the foundation because the undertone is kind of strange. This is more of a medium deep, which is, it's not bad. I feel like if they had a tan in this, it would be really nice. But this one's applicator looks like this. So it's kind of like you just kind of apply it and then carry on. Yeah, when you put it to my face, it's a little bit, it looks good on the hand, and that's why I was kind of fooled by it. But on the face, it gives more of like a weird ashy kind of tone, which is strange. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if other people feel like that. But I don't feel like this is like 100 my, you know, my perfect color. I like Wet n Wild because it is cruelty free. I like Wet n Wild because it's like $5 for this, and it's like a whole 1 ounce foundation, you know. It's like for $5, that's ridiculous. But this one is really good with photo flashback. It doesn't, you know, flash back any type of way. I like it because it gives you like a soft matte kind of finish. I put it in this video because it is drugstore and I really do enjoy it, but I do have to mix it with something to get my perfect color. So that's the only thing. So then the next foundations that I want to talk about are higher end, and the two that I love for winter time are the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Now the Double Wear Foundation, I am in the shade 4W2 Toasty Toffee. Now this does not come with a pump. It comes looking like this one. This is from my kit, so don't worry, I'm not using this color for anything. But when you open it, it just has that, and then, you know, you can kind of pour it out or whatever the case is if you want to. I personally go to MAC and I buy a foundation pump. Now that's what this is. It's the pump by itself. It fits in the Estee Lauder bottles and it fits also in the NARS bottles. I feel like honestly this color might be a little light for me right now. I'm not too sure, but this is usually the color that I am normally. I find that this one, if you do too much or if you are going ham with it, it's definitely going to make you look a little bit more cakey. But this is always my go-to foundation for like long ass days, or like days when I know I'm going to the club or I'm going to like, you know, like a lounge or whatever the case is. This is perfect for those environments. It's very long wearing. It holds up through the next day. Like, I love this foundation for that reason. And I also like it because if you use it with a beauty blender, it's not going to be like really heavy or cakey or anything like that. With a brush, it gives you more of a fuller coverage, but it also still doesn't make it very cakey. So that is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Love it. I feel like it leaves such a nice like airbrushed kind of finish on your face. My holy grail foundation is the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation. I love this foundation for the winter time. I'm actually kind of experimenting with it. I do want to try it in the summertime to see how it'll hold up and how it'll be. But no joke, without a doubt, this one is my absolute favorite. This one is in the shade Tahoe. Love, 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 love this foundation. I don't know, it just, I feel like this one also holds up no matter what. I feel like it just has my skin looking really nice and hydrated. It's not like, it says sheer glow, but it's not like super duper glowy. It's like a semi-matte almost. It controls my oils. It controls like my T-zone area. Like at the end of the day, after a long work day, I feel like my skin looks amazing. It's not like poking out, it's not breaking apart at any parts of it. So this is really great. I love that foundation. It's literally my hands down go-to foundation, the NARS Sheer Glow. Hopefully they don't discontinue it. I've been hearing rumors about it, but no, they better not. So after trying that, I was like, maybe I should try something like more along the lines of like a tinted moisturizer or just a tint if I'm doing something very lightweight. I don't really like BB creams or CC creams or any of those things. Like, I feel like it's all a hoax. If you mix your foundation with a little bit of moisturizer, it'll turn it into a BB cream or a CC cream or a tinted moisturizer. I picked up this one just because I wanted to try it. I felt like it was kind of different when they came out. It wasn't targeted as a like a BB cream or like a CC cream or anything like that, and I figured like for the summertime, because I don't have anything that's a little bit more lightweight, it's literally a moisturizer with a tint of color in it. So that is basically it. I don't fall into the hype of buying like CC creams or BB creams or whatever the case is. I'm not into it. I don't see why people go so hard to get like the perfect BB or perfect CC or perfect tinted moisturizer when you literally can do it at home and you don't need to spend another like $30 or whatever the case is buying another product when you literally have it right at home with you. So that's just me. And I also wanted something that had SPF in it. I picked up the NARS Velvet Skin Tint. Now, I'm in the color ANNAPURNA. Sometimes I like to use this as just my foundation. So I'll go in just like my regular foundation. I'll do concealer. I'll do this whole entire look basically with this. And it looks really nice. I like this because of the fact that it does have the SPF and it's broad spectrum SPF 30. I don't have a lot of products that have SPF in them. I used to go ham for SPF. I don't know why I've stopped. I probably shouldn't have. And this is the one that I'm most likely going to use in the summertime. Well, if I want to go to like, I normally don't wear a lot of makeup to the beach or anything like that. But if I just want something really nice and quick or, you know, go on vacation, you don't really want to wear too much, this would be my go-to. My whole goal, though, with my skin is that I don't have to wear foundation. Like, I just want to have to wear concealer and powder, and I'm good to go just because my skin is, like, under control. So I feel like I'm, like, slowly reaching that point where I don't need a lot of coverage anymore. Especially, it's just this side, this whole entire side. This side's fine. But it's just the side that has like a few little dots now that I'm so happy and so thankful for the fact that I don't have to wear like tons anymore. I still do love a full coverage, but for me, like, it's just I don't need to do the whole like shebang anymore. So I'm super excited about it. Now that all takes place in your skincare. There's no products that you can use like foundation wise or anything that's gonna help you with your skincare. Your skincare routine and your skincare products and the products you invest the money in and you really like, you know, research and everything, that is what's gonna cause a huge difference on your face. So I just want to put that out there. I've done a whole like set of videos on dark spots and clogged pores and helping to remedy that. So if you guys are interested, I'll have that down below too, linked, everything. Like, your whole foundation routine and everything is gonna look a million times better if your skin underneath is good. It doesn't matter how much foundation you buy. It doesn't matter how expensive it is. It doesn't matter if you buy like $120 foundation because you think it's gonna make you look good. If you have shitty skin underneath, it's not gonna look good. You can literally have the best skin and use like fucking 99-cent store foundations and it's gonna be amazing because your skin is amazing. Of course I'm exaggerating, but in general, your foundation wouldn't be anything without good skin underneath. So then the last foundation that I really like, and I really like it for summertime because it's very lightweight. It's nice, it gives you coverage, but it's still lightweight. It's the Luminous Silk from Giorgio Armani. Now this one is a little bit more pricey. This one is $62. So this was just kind of a splurge for me. I'm not gonna probably I think I did repurchase it. I'm not gonna probably repurchase it again. There's so many great foundations that are out there now that when I first started and I didn't really know much, I just picked this one up and I really liked it. I wouldn't say that I would be against getting it again, but just because I'm the type of person, if I try something and I can find it in a dupe or something cheaper that literally the quality is the same, the look is the same, maybe it might be even a little bit better, I'm more of that person that'll go gravitate towards that rather than having the expensive one. So that's just me personally, but it's up to you if you guys are a little bit different. I'm in the shade number 9 where the Giorgio Armani foundation is concerned. This one also has a pump. I think it comes with a pump if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it does. So it's easy, it's sanitary, you just pump it out. Most of these I love using with either the beauty blender or the brush. If I want more fuller coverage through any of these, I'll use a brush. If I want more of a sheer coverage to any of these, I'll use my beauty blender. Those are all the foundations that I love and that I use. I hope this has helped you guys in, you know, finding your color or shades that might be for you. I will list all of my shades down below so you guys will be able to reference them if you need to. Now, picking your foundation shades when you're in drugstores. I normally go off of how the bottle looks. Like this bottle looks like it would be kind of like the color of my face. Like I'm more of one of those, like that's kind of a visual person. Of course, I want to stress that just because it looks like a certain way in the bottle, that doesn't mean necessarily that it's actually your color. And then bottles that are frosted, you definitely cannot tell, of course. And of course, you really can't tell through this. So what I would say is actually when you're trying to find your color, if you can, and this is gonna be for drugstore, of course, if you can't see through the bottle, normally people will sometimes open a product and leave it as the first one, so it's kind of like a tester. I would try doing that. The thing about drugstores though is if you buy something, you can always return it. Just keep your receipt, you can always return it, get your full money back. So that's also something you can do if you don't want to be a little rebel like I am. I wouldn't really do it behind my hand unless you're really comfortable and you know your shades. I feel as though in some foundations I'm more neutral and in some foundations I'm a little bit more warm. For me, because my veins are green, but they do sometimes go blue, like you can't really tell. Like sometimes they're blue, but sometimes they're green. It's kind of like a mixture of them. I'm more of a neutral kind of undertone. MAC foundations, in MAC, I am, I think, an NC 42, 43. So in MAC shades, I'm more cool. In the department stores, you can always ask a consultant or somebody to match you. But overall, if you want to try to match yourself because you don't really trust them, pick 3 that you think are the best out of all of them, that you feel like you could be a little bit of either one. Just do 3 dots on your cheek and then just kind of blend it downwards, and then the closest one is pretty much what you're gonna be. What I do want to say is when you are applying the foundation, like I said, I mentioned it before, you can use either a beauty blender, wet of course. You can use like one of these buffing brushes that are really good. I love using this one to just kind of like stamp it in. When I'm applying my foundation, I love just kind of like pushing it into the skin, really kind of blending it, and then really tapping it into the skin. I find that helps my foundation to look really nice and smooth and even, is when I actually kind of stipple it into. Sometimes I will mix in my primers or like my liquid luminizers with my foundations and also then apply it, and that's how you get something a little bit more glowy. And then I would of course put on a luminizer afterwards. But those are all just different things that you can do if you feel up to it. So a lot of people feel like they need the best full coverage foundation. Sometimes you really don't, especially if your skin is just like a little bit in one area, you know, like me, it's mostly this side. Today my foundation actually pretty much covered it because I'm having a good skin day. But if your foundation is a little bit lighter and the rest of your face is good, but you only have a few problem areas, get a really good full coverage concealer. Put the concealer on first, then blend it out with a beauty blender or with the flat top brush, and then go in with like a lightweight foundation and then just kind of stipple that on top of the concealer after it's dried. That way you don't have to use like a really full coverage concealer. I personally don't usually set with powder. I don't set my face with powder just because my skin, like I said, it's a little bit more dry combination. So sometimes I will set a powder in my in my T-zone area, but I won't do it all over. What I like to do though is when I'm doing my baking underneath my eyes with my setting powder, afterwards I'll just take whatever of my setting powder on my beauty blender and I'll just lightly put it in my T-zone area. The forehead is pretty much the only place that really gets very oily for me. My nose doesn't get oily, my chin doesn't really get oily like that, it's just my forehead. So I'll control it with afterwards with that. Now, if you guys do follow me on live or if you follow me on YouTube, obviously, and you're looking at my foundations, I take a lot of time when it comes to prepping my skin. I will do a toner first to get rid of all the dead skin off my face. After I've washed it, of course, and maybe if I need to, I'll scrub it. Then I'll use my toner. Then I'll go in with like a serum or like a pre-serum. Then I'll go in with my serum. And then I'll go in with my moisturizer. So after that, I'll let my skin settle for like maybe 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'll go in with a primer. I always like to use a primer when I'm putting on my foundation or anything like that, just because it sets like a really nice barrier for your skin. And sometimes the primers make the foundation stick to your skin better, so that way later on it's not going to be breaking apart or anything like that. Sometimes the primers are really nice and they give you more of like an airbrush finish, like the Smashbox one, the white one, like the translucent colored one. That one is really great because it's like a silicone base, so it'll help to fill in any fine lines or any pores or anything like that on your face, and it'll just leave your makeup looking really nice and airbrushed. But like I said, your foundation is not going to be good if your skin underneath is not good. It's literally like, it's so mean, but it's so true. Like the crunch bars, like literally that's what your skin is gonna look like if you don't have really good skin and then you're putting on all this makeup on top of it. So the first thing that you wanna do, you really wanna take care of your skin first before anything. So like I said, I'll have all the skincare videos linked down below as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in another one. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave it down below. And I really want to do this to you guys. If you guys can do this down below, it would be amazing. If you have a list of foundations that you love, or you know, the foundations that you have in your collection, list the name of the foundation and your color down below. That way, if people, you know, looking at this video want to find a reference to something, you guys will all kind of help each other like I'm helping you guys. If somebody is already TOFFEE Tawny, then they'll know in the NARS foundation they'll be TAHOE. So that way we can help each other out, and then like it'll be a lot easier too. And then I will see what you guys are using if you guys are using my favorite foundations as well. So thanks everybody once again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please don't hesitate to leave the comment down below and follow me on all my social media sites if you love my videos and if you are interested. I'll talk to you guys in another one. Mwah! Bye!